So welcome to lecture 6 of unit 4. So here we will continue with some more problems on divergence and related questions. So in this problem you have to find divergence of f where your f is equal to gradient of this surface. So first you have to find vector f by finding grad of this surface, and then you have to find divergence of f. So let's start. First, let us take this surface as phi. So let phi equal to x cube plus y cube plus z cube minus 3xyz. Now to find f, you have to find gradient of this. So to find gradient of this surface phi, you need del phi by del x, which is equal to 3x square minus 3yz, del phi by del y, which is equal to 3y square minus 3xz, and del phi by del z, which is equal to 3z square minus 3xy. So now your grad phi is grad phi is nothing but I del phi by del x plus j del phi by del y plus k del phi by del z. So let's substitute the values of this. So your vector f, which is equal to grad phi is equal to 3x square minus 3yz I plus 3y square minus 3xz j plus 3z square minus 3xy k. So your divergence of this vector becomes del by del x of 3x square minus 3yz plus del by del y of 3y square minus 3xz plus del by del z of 3z square minus 3xy. Why? Because if f is the vector f1i plus f2j plus f3k, then you know that divergence of f is equal to del f1 by del x plus del f2 by del y plus del f3 by del z. This is already known to you. So this is your nothing but f1, this is your f2, and this is your f3. So your divergence f becomes, when you do this becomes nothing but your 6x plus 6y plus 6z. That is, the value of divergence f is equal to 6 times of x plus y plus z, and that is your answer. Right? So let's continue with more problems. Now say this is an important problem, and this can be asked in 3 different ways. The solution will be same. This can be asked like find divergence f if vector f is equal to r to the power n do vector r, and also find n if this vector is solenoidal. Solenoidal means divergence of which vector is 0 is called solenoidal vector. Or this can also be asked like prove that this vector is solenoidal if the value of n equal to minus 3. Here you have to find n, here you have to show that value is n minus 3 if this is solenoidal. Also this can be asked as proof that divergence of this vector is equal to n plus 3 times of r to the power n. Hence show that vector r by r cube is solenoidal. See the solution that can be applicable for any 3 ways, right? So let's start. Now see here, they have given that your vector f is equal to now here this is a standard position vector r, which is vector r equal to xi plus yj plus zk. Then you have r equal to mod of this vector r, that is root of x square plus y square plus z square. That means r square will be x square plus y square plus z square. So if r square equal to x square plus y square plus z square, when you differentiate it partially with respect to x, y and z, what you are going to get is 2r del r by del x. Since r is a function of x, y, z, if you differentiate partially this equation, r will also be get partially differentiated with respect to x. So you get 2r del r by del x equal to 2x. That means del r by del x is nothing but x by r. And similarly you will get del r by del y equal to y over r, and del r by del z equal to r over z. Right? So remember these standard things. R is a standard position vector xi plus yj plus zk, and r equal to modulus of vector r. So you get r square is this much, and if you differentiate partially with respect to x, y and z, you are going to get these values. So this is standard. Whenever you will get vector r, you have to use these things, right? So now let's get back to our vector f. So f is equal to your Rn. Let's substitute the value of vector r, which is xi plus yj plus zk. Therefore you can also write it as now what will be the value of divergence f? That will be nothing but this is f1i, similarly f2j plus f3k. So del f1 by del x means del by del x of Rn not x plus del by del y of Rn y plus del by del z of Rn z. Right? So let's find the values. Now del by del x of this term will be equal to, so this is product of two functions r to the power n and x. So first let us differentiate this r to the power n. That will be n r to the power n minus 1 into del r by del x, derivative of r into x as it is, plus derivative of partial derivative we are doing, so derivative of x will be 1, so you get only r to the power n. Similarly here you are going to get n r to the power n minus 1 del r by del y into y plus r to the power n, and similarly for z you are going to get derivative of r to the power n is on n r to the power n minus 1 del r by del z into z as it is, plus derivative of z is 1, so r to the power n. So you get here n r to the power n minus 1 value of del r by del x. Let us say this equation as equation number 1. So from 1 what you can get, del r by del x equal to x by r. So substitute this value by as x by r into x as it is, plus r to the power n plus n r to the power n minus 1. Del r by del y is nothing but y over r into y plus r to the power n plus value of this is nothing but z over r into z plus r to the power n. So this becomes your right. So this r you can write as n r to the power n minus 2 x square plus r to the power n plus n r to the power n minus 2 y square plus r to the power n plus n r to the power n minus 2 z square plus r to the power n, which can also be written as, collect the terms of n r to the power n minus 2, you have x square plus y square plus z square. Collect the terms here, plus r to the power n plus r to the power n plus r to the power n becomes 3 r to the power n. Now what is the value of x square plus y square plus z square? That is r square. So let's take that value. So this becomes n r to the power n minus 2 into r square plus 3 r to the power n, which becomes, see, power settles here, minus 2 plus 2. So you have n r to the power n plus 3 r to the power n. So if you take r to the power n common, you get n plus 3. So what is the value of divergence of f? So you get divergence of vector f is equal to Rn n plus 3, right? Now if f is solenoidal, then what you have, divergence of this vector will be equal to 0, right? A solenoidal vector means its divergence is 0. So if the divergence is 0, which implies this value of divergence is equal to 0. Now since r is a position vector, it cannot be 0. So which factor will be 0? N plus 3 equal to 0. Since Rn is not equal to 0, n plus 3 equal to 0, which implies n equal to minus 3, right? So see here, if this is solenoidal, then n equal to minus 3, you have got the value of n if this is solenoidal. So all the three ways of asking the same question can be solved in this way. What you have done, simply you have found divergence of vector f, and if divergence f equal to 0, automatically you will get the value of n as minus 3. So now see, in this problem, if r is the position vector of any point in space, as we already know, then show that this vector is irrotational, right? Now let's see, already we have done a similar kind of problem. So you know that the vector r is nothing but xi plus yj plus zk, and you also know that r equal to mod of vector r. That means you have r square equal to x square plus y square plus z square, and you also know that del r by del x will be x by r, just as the last problem, del r by del y will be y by r, and del r by del z will be z over r. Now you have to show that this vector is irrotational. this vector is irrotational means its curl will be 0. When there is no rotational motion, the curl will be 0. Curl represents the angular velocity, and angular velocity will come into the picture whenever there is a rotational motion. So see here, we have to show that this vector Rn dot r vector is irrotational. That means we have to show that its curl is 0. Now the vector, let f is equal to Rn vector r. So your f becomes Rn xi plus Rn yj plus Rn zk, right? So now curl of this vector, that means vector operator cross this vector f is nothing but I j k, and del by del x, del by del y, del by del z, and substitute these values: x Rn, y Rn, z Rn, right? Del by del x, this is your f1, f2, f3. So I j k, del by del x, del by del y, del by del z of f1, f2, f3, right? This is the value of your curl f. So now let's find out the values. So you have, with respect to I, you have del by del y of this minus del by del z of this. So let's write del by del y of r and z minus del by del z of, right, plus j times of, sorry, minus j, and you have del by del x of this minus del by del z of that. So minus del by del x of minus del by del z of plus k times of minus del by del y of x r to the power n, right? So let's solve these. Now you know that if I solve this, all are similar patterns. So if I solve for I, and I will duplicate it for j and k terms, right? We can do that because this will be very lengthy for solving the same process for this and this bracket. So whenever there are similar kind of terms, we can put summation and solve for one bracket, and that can be duplicated for another two terms of y and z also. Or if you don't want to put summation, we can solve separately. So I, and this bracket gives you del by del y of this, means what you have, n r to the power n minus 1 del r by del y into z as it is, right? And second will be 0 minus, here you get n r to the power n minus 1 del r by del z into y as it is, minus j times you get del by del x of this, means n r to the power n minus 1 del r by del x into z as it is. Second term will be 0 because there is no function of x here, minus del by del z of this becomes n r to the power n minus 1 del r by del z into x as it is, plus k times of this becomes del by del x of y r to the power n means n r to the power n minus 1 del r by del x into y as it is minus this term means n r to the power n minus 1 del r by del y into x as it is. Second term will be 0 because there is no function of x there, y there, right? So let's segregate these terms. Del r by del y means you know y by r. So this term becomes n r to the power n minus 1 into y by r into z minus n r to the power n minus 1 into z by r into y minus this terms becomes n r to the power n minus 1 del r by del x means x by r into z minus n r n minus 1 del r by del z means your z by r into x. Then third term becomes n r to the power n minus 1 del r by del x means x by r minus n r to the power n minus 1 del r by del y means y by r into x. Right? So further solving, this becomes n r to the power n minus 2 into yz minus this becomes n r to the power n minus 2 zy minus this becomes n r to the power n minus 2 xz plus n r to the power n minus 2 zx plus this term becomes n r to the power n minus 2 xy minus n r to the power n minus 2 yx, which are all the opposite terms. So this becomes equal to 0. So what we get? Curl f, that is, what was your vector f? Curl of right. So you have to do here carefully, just you have to follow what are the derivatives are there, just follow that and you will reach the answer. Now let's see what is a scalar potential. So if vector f is irrotational, then we know that its curl will be 0. So whenever a vector is irrotational, that is curl f equal to 0, then there exists a scalar function phi such that this vector f, which is irrotational, becomes equal to gradient of phi, and this phi is called as scalar potential of this vector f. That means, again I repeat, if vector f, this vector f is irrotational, that means if curl of this vector equal to 0, then you can write this vector f equal to grad phi. Right, you can represent this vector f as grad phi, and this phi is nothing but the scalar potential, and easily we can calculate this phi. Let's see how we have to find this scalar potential or this phi. Now see here in this problem, you have to show that this vector is irrotational, and if this is irrotational, curl f is 0, and if curl f is 0, you can represent f as grad phi. That is your scalar potential, and you have to find that phi, that means that scalar potential. So let's start it, and see, they have given you this vector. So let this is equal to f, which is given to you as this, plus y square minus zxj plus z square minus xy k. Now see here, we have to first show that this is irrotational, then we will find its scalar potential. Scalar potential exists only when the vector is irrotational. So let us find the value of curl f, that is vector operator del cross this vector f, which is equal to I j k del by del x, vector operator's value. Then the components of f for I, j and k, that are nothing but x square minus yz, for j y square minus zx, for k z square minus xy. So let's find the values. For component I, what you have here, del by del y of this term will give you minus x, minus del by del z of this term gives you minus of x. So minus of x becomes plus x, minus of j times of del by del x of this term gives you minus of y, minus del by del z of this term gives you minus of y, so that becomes plus of y, and plus for k you get del by del x of this as minus z, minus this gives you plus of z. So this gives you I into 0 minus j into 0 plus k into 0, that is curl f is equal to curl of this vector is equal to 0. That means the vector f is irrotational, and if it is irrotational, then what you can represent, f can be represented as grad phi. And what is the value of grad phi? Grad phi is nothing but I del phi by del x plus j del phi by del y plus k del phi by del z. And what is your vector f? Vector f is nothing but x square minus yz I plus y square minus zx j plus z square minus xy k. This is equal to I del phi by del x plus j del phi by del y plus k del phi by del z. So now you compare the I, j and k components, right? Both sides. Compare I to I component with I component, y with j and k with k component. So see what you get here. You get, compare this, you get del phi by del x is equal to x square minus yz, right? And you get del phi by del y is equal to y square minus zx, and you get del phi by del z is equal to z square minus xy. Now this is the value of del phi by del x, which implies what will be the value of phi? Value of phi will be the integral of x square minus yz dx, which is nothing but equal to x cube by 3 minus xyz. Now constant will be a function of, since you are doing with respect to x and this is partial derivative to us, phi is a function of xyz, so constant will be the function of y and z. Similarly, when you integrate here to get the value of phi, what you get? Integration of y square minus zx dy, which is equal to y cube by 3 minus xyz, plus constant will be a function of x and z. Here you get phi equal to integral of z square minus xy dz, which is equal to z cube by 3 minus xyz, plus this will be a function of what? X and y. So let this be a, b and C, the three equations. So what you get from A, B and C, because phi is a function of x, y and z, from A, B and C you get the value of phi nothing but x cube plus y cube plus z cube over 3 minus xyz plus a constant. So that is nothing but your scalar potential. So see, I'll explain you in one more way how you can find the scalar potential. So as you got the values of del phi by del x as x square minus yz, and integral of this phi gives you this. Now as you know that these are your values of del phi by del x, del phi by del y, del phi by del z. Your total derivative d phi will be del phi by del x dx plus del phi by del y dy plus del phi by del z dz. So what will be your phi? Integral of del phi by del x dx plus integral del phi by del y dy plus integral del phi by del z dz. If d phi is this much, phi will be integral of these terms, right? So already we have got integral of from this. See, substitute the values of integral of del phi by del x, right? Integral of del phi by del x is equal to this much, right? So just if you put the values here, you get the values of integral of del phi by del x, del phi by del y and del phi by del z. So your phi will be, when you combine, x cube plus y cube plus z cube over 3 minus 3 times of xyz plus c. So either you can better understand by this way that your total derivative d phi will be del phi by del x dx, and simply in integral put the values of del phi by del x and integrate, put the value of del phi by del y and integrate. Here already you have got what are your del phi by del x and what will be its integral, right? Or for your simplification, I can also make here integral of del phi by del x equal to this much, right? So you got the value of del phi by del x from here, comparing I, j, k and components. This is del phi by del x. So this is integral of del phi by del x, which is a. This is del phi by del y. This is integral of del phi by del y. This is del phi by del z. This is integral of del phi by del z. Now what will be your value of d phi? D phi is nothing but del phi by del x dx. So phi will be integral of del phi by del x dx and so on. So substitute the values from a, b and c for this integral. From equations a, b and c you substitute these values, so you get phi equal to this much. So this is how we calculate scalar potential. So we'll continue with some more important vector identities and problems in the